שיר למעלות, אשא עיני אל ההרים, מאין יבוא עזרי. עזרי מעם אדוני, עושה שמיים וארץ. אל ייתן למוט רגליך, אל ינום שומרך. הנה לא ינום ולא יישן, שומר ישראל. אדוני שומרך, אדוני צילך על יד ימינך. יומם השמש לא יככה, וירח בלילה. אדוני ישמורך מכל רע, ישמור את נפשך. אדוני ישמור צאתך ובואך, מעתה ועד עולם.
A song for ascents. I turn my eyes to the mountains. From where will my help come? My help comes from God, the maker of this heaven and earth. God will not let your foot give way. Your guardian will not slumber. You see, the guardian of Israel neither slumbers nor sleeps. Adonai is your guardian. God is your protection at your right hand. And by day the sun does not strike, nor the moon by night. God will guard you from harm. God will guard your life. God will guard your going and your coming now and forever. I said a moment ago that I imagine this is what it feels like to be a New Yorker who arrives in the Midwest. The only two in black, in a sea of flannel. I'm Rabbi Emily Hyatt. This is Cantor Liz Sachs, and it is an honor, a sad one, a devastating one, but a real honor to be here with you in this moment. We're not supposed to be here. This isn't something that is supposed to happen. And yet here we are. I imagine most of you are from very far away. And so you must feel like strangers in a very strange land right now. You are in a synagogue, in a worship space, in a city, in a state, and in a moment in time that you did not ask to be in. And yet the presence of your flannel shirts and the softness and the comfort that I know that you are surrounded in, I hope makes you feel, all of you, wrapped up in the love of someone who I did not get to know in life, but I feel like I'm getting to know in his passing. And I think that Kevin would love this, to see you in your checkers here in this beautiful sanctuary. And so it is with that we honor him. We honor his life and we mourn his death because it is too early. Before we begin, I want to let you know that if you need to use the restroom, they are out that door and to the right. For any reason, if we needed to get out of the sanctuary quickly, this and this wood panel right there, those are doors that take you straight outside. I'll ask you to make sure that your cell phones are on silent or off so that they don't ring during our service. And we have three things that we do in a Jewish funeral, essentially. The first thing that we do is prepare ourselves for the hard work that we have to do that. We do that with Psalms, like we just chanted, Psalm 121, that talks about how beautiful the mountains are and what comfort they bring us. We do that with poetry and with songs. The second thing that we do is to tell the story of Kevin's life. It's a good story. And so we're going to talk about it and who he was and what he brought to this beautiful community and to all those of you that are joining us from afar online. And then the third thing that we do is really say goodbye. And we do that through our memorial prayers, which we will close with at the end of our service. And so for those of you for whom this is your first Jewish funeral, don't worry. Your job is to listen, to love, to remember, to hold space for all of the feelings that are inside you as we begin the process of this formal communal moment of goodbye. And so I want to start by sharing with you a poem that reminds us that this moment is going to be hard and it's going to hurt, and so will other moments. And yet what we know is that the legacy of Kevin is going to stay with us. In the rising of the sun and in its going down, we remember him. In the blowing of the wind and in the chill of winter, we remember him. In the opening of buds and in the rebirth of spring, we remember him. In the blueness of the sky and the warmth of the sun, we remember him. In the rustling of the leaves and in the beauty of autumn, we remember him. In the beginning of the year and when it ends, we remember him. When we are weary and in need of strength, we remember him. When we're lost and we're sick at heart, we remember him. And when we have joys that we yearn to share, we remember him then too. So long as we live, he too will live, for he is now a part of us as we remember him. And so with that, we move right into this journey of telling the story of Kevin's life, of hearing from the people who knew him best what we're supposed to take from this moment. And so I'm going to call up his mom and dad, Janie and Rich.
Before we talk about our precious child, I just want to thank all of you who are here today. From near and far, you guys came from Arizona, California, Florida, just from all over the U.S. We're just overwhelmed with the outpouring of love, compassion, kindness, courage, and just the ability to show up. Just humbles us. It keeps our heads above water. Just have a couple call-outs. Shan and Stefan, thank you for being there for Kevin. Thank you for being there for us. Your kindness speaks volumes of your character and of your love for our family. We love you. Sophia and Mac, you have shielded us. You have protected us. As Kevin would have done with grace, courage, and dignity. You're us. You're our family. You're part of us forever. We love you. To my siblings, you're my rock. You took care of the other side of death that was going to be unbearable for us. You took it for us. James and Mayo, Paul, Mimi, Gerald. I can't thank you, and Renee, of course. Significant others. I can't thank you enough for supporting us and being here for us. I love you infinitely. And now I want to talk about my boy, my beautiful boy. Kevin was the most amazing son, brother, cousin, nephew, and friend. Since his passing last Saturday, we've been getting a lot of credit for raising him, this incredible son, with the soul of the earth. All right, let's be honest. I mean, Kevin made us look good. I mean, we broke every parent rule in the book. There was no such thing as bedtime. We let him watch a ton of movies that were not age appropriate. We let him play ball in the house, and when he figured out how to climb out of his crib, Jane and I could hear him like go fly into our bed, jump in the middle between us, where he felt safe. I'm pretty sure he slept in our bed till like he was about 5 or so. Not every night, but most. He was an avid reader, so I can only imagine him jumping on his bike, going to our local library, checking out a book, basically with the title, What My Parents Should Have Taught Me. That was Kevin, always learning and never satisfied, and mediocre was not in his language, in his vocabulary. I gave Kev his nickname of Hammer. At age 5 or 6, he was constantly hitting his head. And those of us who, grew up with him know that. He was always diving into our bed like Superman and dressed up like Superman, bouncing off the bed, hitting his head on the ground or overshooting the bed and hitting the back of the wall. We got plenty of dents for proof. He would shake it off, laugh, and continue to just hammer away. Richie and Katie would just laugh at him, and he was like their entertainment. Kev had the most beautiful face. Freckles, high cheekbones, the chisel jaw, his soft brown eyes, his inviting smile. He loved unconditionally. He never judged, he only inspired. He had this incredible ability to listen without speaking, to be in the moment while ignoring distractions. He was real. He made you feel special. He gave the best hugs. He was a scholar athlete. He was a natural leader with a tremendous work ethic that served him well both academically and athletically. Graduating from NYU with honors in 3.5 years. Thank you. He captained his NYU cross-country team to a regional victory and just missing All-American honors by the slimmest of margins his senior year. Kevin worked as a sales executive in the tech industry, which took him from New York to California, back to New York. Then he settled here in Colorado. He was successful at each and every step of the way, building his career, loving his job. His last one was at Twilio. Kevin loved everything about life, its adventures, its simple pleasures, his family, his friends, his books, a cold beer. He wasn't afraid to live. He brought his first home in Denver this last October. Many of you were there last night. It was his pride and joy, the fruits of his labor. We were so proud of him. I was so blessed to help him move in. As a father, watching your son build his life, it was such a joy. It was on the next phase of his life. It was Home Depot, Bed Bath & Beyond, Costco. There was something missing, though. There was a big piece of his life that was missing of the puzzle. That eluded him until 9 months ago. That's when he met Sri. He put himself out there. He was ready. He found his soulmate. He was the happiest I've ever seen him in my life. He was the happiest in his life. My family is me, who I am. They're my life. I breathe them day and night. Loving, kissing, hugging them is as natural as breathing. Kevin was my little boy, my precious little boy. He was an amazing brother. He loved his mommy. He loved me. Dropping everything to answer a call, grab a bite, or just hang out, our relationship was so special. He called me Pops, just like his siblings did. Every time he said it, I felt his love and affection. It was like he said it for the first time every time. It was his way. He played, we partied, we skied, we hiked, we were always teammates. Our song was Mr. Brightside. Every time the song came on, no matter where we were, Kelly's wedding, we would all look around for each other. And then we would just blurt out the lyrics with reckless abandon. I only know like half the lyrics. My little boy, my precious little boy, I miss you so much. You made me a better Pops. You made me a better person by just being you. Life as we know will never be the same. We will challenge through you, my boy, channel through you. You will continue to make me a better dad, husband, father, brother, and friend. That is your legacy. We will always be, we are family. I love you, my son. I will.
No, everybody knows that Kevin knew how to work the room. And when I walked in here, it's just impossible to believe why we're here, but you all being here is your way of working the room for Kevin and showing up for him the way he did for you. You're just all a reflection of the love he gave you and the love you're giving back. And I want his life to just, his life is a lesson, not his passing. But our lives that we spent together with our children, with Kevin, and was always all that mattered to us. It's all that mattered to all of us. And we're grateful and blessed for that. Okay, I can't sing very well, but Kevin loved to sing and dance. I'm gonna just have a few lines. We're 1,000 miles from comfort, traveling mountain, land, and sea. As long as you are right here with me, Kevin, there's no place I'd rather be. It's so easy being with you. You are sacred simplicity. As long as I am with you, Kevin, my heart continues to beat. The cantor will finish that later. Kevin, from the moment you were born, I knew you were my once-in-a-lifetime gift. Your insanely deep dimples, your gigantic, infectious smile captured an entirety, each of our hearts. Your fierce attachment to me, and mine to you, made us uniquely close and connected for all time. I remember with clarity your first day of preschool at Ramat Shalom, when you refused to take off your backpack the first week. When your teacher asked you why, you confidently informed her that you were waiting for your mommy to pick you up. That didn't change. Well, a little. You shared an intense love, admiration, friendship, attachment, adoration, and joyful relationship with Richie, your big brother. It epitomized brotherly love. Never have we experienced that type of love before, and that will remain Richie forever. Upon discovering how to escape from your crib, we didn't check each other's. You made a beeline after our room. You discovered and made a beeline for Richie's room. So snuggled up with him in his full-size bed. Eventually graduated to bunk beds and spent your childhood blanketed in homemade tents. We never made them take them down. Plus, we didn't care if they made their beds. Today and forever, you are known as the Bonilla brothers, side by side and stride by stride. When Katie was born, all plump and pink, weighing in at 8 pounds, 13 ounces, you and Richie described her as a sumo wrestler in a ballerina costume. And that's exactly what she looked like. You both wanted a girl more than anything in the world. I thought Katie was going to be a boy, but you knew she was going to be a girl. After meeting your baby sister in the hospital, we presented you and Richie with wrapped gifts from her. You ripped yours open, you saw your Ninja Turtle costume outfits, and you shouted in elation, "How did Katie know that this is what I wanted?" You were just so curious and so pure and so innocent. Your innocence, your trust, your innate desire to care for, deeply love, teach and empower, and protect Katie helped prepare her for the world in which she shared with you intimately. Katie and Kevin, and with Richie. After following you to New York City, you and Katie never lived further than a few miles away, or what Kevin affectionately called running distance away. It was because of you, Kevin, that Katie met her loving and incredible fiance, Mac, at the Skinny Bar in Manhattan. While Richie's gentleness with each of you prevailed, Kevin justified your rough and raucous behavior and antics with your baby sister as a way of making Katie tough, preparing her for the world. It did truly serve her well. You, Kevin, and Richie, Katie, you live remarkably as your relationship with one another is our truest gift, a true blessing to Daddy and me, our fivesome, better known as We Are Family, that will live on through eternity. You gracefully spread your wings as an undeniably authentic adult and developed a strong sense of independence, unlike the days at Ramat Shalom. A true Renaissance man that Uncle Todd called you. You ventured to NYU where you created an everlasting loyal family of best friends. You know who you are. As a student athlete and graduate of the Galden School of Individualized Study at NYU, you began your career in San Francisco. Your travel ventures included skydiving in Belize. When you sent us a picture of the plane that you skydove from, we were very relieved because we thought that plane wouldn't even make it. It was so old, and we realized you skydived. We were very relieved. You saw Hamilton on Broadway in London. You bottle-fed baby joeys and kangaroos in Australia. You traveled twice to Ireland, imbibing at Guinness and throughout, becoming an official wedding crasher where you danced with the bride in Belfast. Her husband was pretty understanding. He actually got down and pretty dirty with her. We did. You frequented Mexico, visiting Toronto only to return to the arms of your friends and Lady Liberty in the Big Apple. You took pride in every activity and project you pursued. You were a catalyst for change. You insisted on navigating your world with fervor and ritualistic pleasure. From your daily morning distant runs to being immersed in the culture of New York, you had always been a lover of the arts, theater, reading, music, comedy, and sports with an insatiable hunger for knowledge. And Kevin, no one will ever forget your insatiable appetite for food and life. Our incredible family vacations have etched out the most magnificent memories that have become the blueprint for the way in which we live and love one another. From our joyous Colorado, Utah, Montana ski trips to Rocky Mountains, summer hiking, countless Broadway shows, beach vacations, too many to mention, but never too many to forget. And the visits to Mexico, Ireland, London, and being together was our family mantra. During the pandemic, We get the pleasure as you work from home remotely and you were allowed the opportunity to live in your childhood home for 3 months, which was a gift to Pops and to me as the three of us lived side by side. Next stop on your journey was a month spent in DC where you lived with Richie and Sophia and spent meaningful time together exploring history, cooking, binge-watching Survivor and The Challenge. Your third and last stop on your journey was Denver, where you moved in with Katie and Mac for almost a year. This amazing experience has prompted you to buy your own first beautiful home just 2 miles or running distance away from Katie and Mac. Soaking in the year-round beauty of the Rockies, you became an avid hiker during the summer, conquering 14ers and an elite skier during the winter, making Denver your permanent home. Beginning new family traditions, we frequent Denver as a family as often as possible, and it's become our home away from home, and there's no place we'd rather be. Just less than a year ago, you met the love of your life, Shri. Your incredible heart expanded to twice its size, making space for her in your life and in your new relationship. We witnessed you experiencing life with Shri as you began to share and plan your amazing journey together forward. Knowing you were setting sail on this absolute best next chapter of your life brought us all immense joy, as did you, Kevin. I'm almost done. It's very hard. While your deep-seated roots have always been planted in the love of family, it is your intense curiosity, your purposeful life, mindfulness, your desire for exploration, endless compassion that's empowered you to see the best in each person, accepting and appreciating the countless people in your life. Your loyalty is unmatched. It's a testament to your humane existence. And this sanctuary today, here at Temple Emmanuel, this sanctuary is filled with those you've touched, impacted, and loved, who traveled to celebrate magnificent you. My beloved baby boy, my beautiful boy, my beautiful boy, Kevy Webby. I called him Kevy Webby. You've taught me through the example of benevolence and commitment how to live life, how life should be lived. You loved as you lived, fully, robustly, romantically, boisterously, deliberately. Your senses were so keen, especially your insane sense of humor. When you were 5 and I picked you up from Much-Alone preschool, I always said, "What did you learn?" All the kids, and he said, "I learned about the 5 senses of humor." He really thought that's what it was called. And I said, "You're absolutely brilliant." You constantly entertain through your storytelling, quick, on-your-feet wit, and guffawing hysteria, infectious laughter. Who here has not experienced Kevin laughing with his eyes shut, the tears running, these little creases, his shoulders going, and hysterical laughter that he can't finish telling a story, and most of them are about himself. Because he laughed about himself. He was never afraid to laugh about himself. Kevs, you are Mr. Crazy Legs. Anyone who's seen him on the dance floor knows that. He's the most animated person in life. Your life has been infused with music and your uncontrollable desire to dance, where your NYU friends told me last night you've earned the title of first on the dance floor, last one off. You love to sing, perform, march to the own beat of your drum, which has allowed you to live an amazing on-your-terms life. And you have created the path of your choice that journeyed throughout your lifetime. You're an indelible free spirit. This tribute to you, my baby boy, it's not the first. In fact, this is a Lifetime Achievement Award. You did always want to go into film. This tribute to you, it's not the first. We've always celebrated you over and over and over. It's certainly not my last, as we'll continue to celebrate your magnificent life and the impact you have on me, Daddy, Richie, and Sophia, Katie, Mac, and Shri, and the many countless family and friends. You'll always be my forever Kevy Webby, the love of my life, my joyful boy. You live in us, and we live in you. I'm always here for you. I love you more than anything in the universe at Universal Studios. It's our favorite places. You're my sunshine in the morning and my shining star at night. I forever love you with all my heart and soul. Let your life be an inspiration to all who know you. As an organ donor, you created life for so many people through your immeasurable generosity. As a film aficionada, we know that how much you love the rewatchables. Everybody knows the rewatchables. It's a film podcast with a round table of people discussing movies they can't seem to get enough of. You are our rewatchable. Kevin, we will be rewatching everything. We'll never get enough of you. And we promise, Kevs, to take you with us everywhere, every single second of our lives. Your physical absence is agonizing, and I miss you intensely. I haven't talked to you in 6 days. It's usually every day I talk to you. But Kevin, as I cannot for even 1 second imagine my life without you in it, Mommy and Daddy, Richie and Katie pray that you show up as much as possible, and you already have. I can't wait to reunite with you. As I always tell you, Kevin, you complete me. Just like from Jerry Maguire. I love you immensely, immeasurably, and forever. And I just want to sing. You can sing if you want. Ain't no mountain high, ain't no valley low, ain't no river wide enough, Kevin. If you need us, call us, no matter where you are, no matter how far, don't worry, baby. Just call our names, we'll be there in a hurry. You don't need to worry, sing along, 'cause Kevin, there ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep us from getting to you, baby. Oh my God. Okay, yeah.
When Rabbi Hyatt and I met with the family earlier this week, we talked about a lot of things, but we talked a lot about Kevin's love of music, how it defined him, how he always found the perfect song, not just for himself, but for other people. And I think we all know, and we've all just seen, that music and songs that live through our lives in particular have not only the power to be a hyperlink to the memories that we crave, the feelings that we want to hold on to, but music also has the power to pierce our souls and to make that connection that we desperately need from right now to the person that we wish was standing right here next to us. And so in that spirit, and from one mom to another, we're going to sing some of Kevin's favorite songs. Come stop your crying, it will be all right. Just take my hand, hold it tight. I will protect you from all around you. I will be here, don't you cry. For one so small, you seem so strong. My arms will hold you, keep you safe and warm. This bond between us can't be broken. I will be here, don't you cry. 'Cause you'll be in my heart. Yes, you'll be in my heart. From this day on, now and forevermore. You'll be in my heart, no matter what they say. You'll be here in my heart always. When destiny calls you, you must be strong. I may not be with you, but you've got to hold on. They'll see in time. I know we'll show them together, 'cause you'll be in my heart. Yes, you'll be in my heart from this day on, now and forevermore. You'll be in my heart, no matter what they say. You'll be here in my heart always, always. Katie and Richie are now going to offer some words.
I thought the first time I would stand in front of a large group of family and friends to give a speech for Kev would be on his wedding day as his best man. I don't love to public speak, but for Kev, I would be so proud to speak. And right now, even though the circumstances are different, I am still just as proud to stand here in front of his loved ones and tell you something you already know, how amazing of a human being he is. Kevin had so many wonderful aspects, but the one I want to speak to is the unconditional love and support he gave his family and friends. It is important to know that he is still with us, and you can always count on him for support and love when you need it. This will never change for all of us. Kevin, we are so proud of you today as we celebrate your life, and we are so fortunate to have had you in our lives. You are always bringing a smile and laugh to every situation. Kevin was the one we turned to in difficult situations, and he was always there with his award-winning smile and quick wit to bring levity to the situation. He was really the only one who could pull this off. He is doing that for all of us right now, as all the memories of him are filled with laughter and joy. Kevin and I were going to be each other's best man at our wedding, and that will never change. He will always be mine, and I his. Whatever he was to all of you, he will always be. He will continue to help give us strength when we need it, Just ask, and like Kevin, he will be there for you. I love you, Kev. Thank you for being you.
Kevs, you're my brother, my best friend, my protector, my hero, my dance partner, and my everything. You've been part of me since the day I was born. Our souls were bonded, and your presence made me feel whole. Our relationship was effortless. The love we had for each other was simply the best. You brought so much light into my life. We didn't choose to be siblings, but we did choose to be best friends. We chose to spend as much time as possible with each other. Richie and I were the luckiest to call you our brother. You will always be our brother for the rest of our lives. I looked up to you my entire life. I strived to be as intelligent, kind, accomplished, and confident as you were. I always wished I had a little more of you in me. Naturally, we had different journeys in life, but I always knew how proud you were of me because you told me. You were never afraid to tell the ones closest to you how much they meant to you. Everyone in this room knows how much you love them because you told them through your words and showed them through your actions. The gift you gave all of us was time. You were so generous with your time. You dropped everything in a heartbeat to be there for your family and friends. You remained present and engaged in every conversation you had. You were never in a rush. You cherished the simple things in life, and all time with you was quality time. Mac and I are forever blessed that you chose to live with us for 7 months this past year, and you ended up moving to Denver. We were so happy that you'd be so physically close to us forever. It made our future life in Denver together that much more exciting. You were part of every big milestone in Mac and my relationship. You're the reason why we met. You were there when we got engaged on Copper Mountain. And you were supposed to sign our ketubah at our wedding in 3 months. I will miss everything about you, Kevs. Your energy, your smile, your hugs, your laugh, your presence. Your presence was vibrant and warm at the same time. It was magic. It didn't matter where we were in the world. If you were there, it felt like home. Skiing with you as a family, with all our friends, were some of our favorite memories. We were all our happiest on the mountain together. We were on top of the world. Kev, you taught me many lessons throughout my life, but the biggest lesson you taught me was not to be afraid to live. Take advantage of every opportunity that comes your way and just say yes. Say yes to fun, but also say yes to scary or challenging. Kev lived every day like it truly might be his last, and for that, I am grateful. So how do we continue to honor Kevin? How do we live without Kevin physically here? How do we feel happiness again? I don't know the answers to all those questions, but I know we must live like Kevin would. We must keep challenging ourselves, keep traveling, keep working hard, keep having fun, keep learning. We must never stop because Kevin would never stop. I love you, my Kevs. I will always love you. We are family forever. Fam, I love you forever. I wish I could hug you one last time and feel your beautiful heartbeat. Please watch over us.
We have 2 more stories, 2 more people who are going to share with us their version of Kevin. And so I'm going to call up Cherie, and I'm going to call up Paige so that they can stand up here with each other.
But stand next to me because I'm mentioning you and recognize what I say it. So. I'm gonna take off my shoes. Is that okay? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Is that a thing? You're not supposed to.
Something's telling me to take off my shoes right now. Be more comfortable.
I am lucky. Each of you is lucky. We are lucky. The world is luckier because of Kevin's love. It's the mantra that my body keeps telling me. It's the thing that keeps coming to the front of my mind in these days of rolling grief, in my moments of shock and anger. Writing this and speaking today was complicated in a different way than I think it was for others here. For those of you who don't know, I'm a public defender by profession, and the thing about my job that I've always been uniquely good at is processing my clients' tragedies and trauma and speaking to whatever audience, be it judges or DAs or juries or victims or families or friends, in the way that in exactly the right way to tell my client's story, and exactly in the right way that is what the people in front of me needed to hear. I really wanted to be able to do that today, but I had to realize I couldn't, because this story is Kevin and mine and not a work day. And I know that this story and the way I'm telling it can't be the exact right thing for all of you, for each of you, and it isn't the tragedy you are living in, because you are all living in a grief and tragedy in different ways. But what I can share is Kevin and I's love, how it grew and how he was with me in those last 9 months. So the first story I want to share was when we knew we loved each other. We didn't say it till much later because we weren't that ridiculous. But we knew on our second date. For Kevin, it was because the date lasted 5 or 6 hours. For me, I knew it was something different and remarkable because I broke a rule at the end of it. I had a rule of no kissing until a 3rd dating app date that I always followed. And also for all of you, and especially my parents, that is not a euphemism when I say kissing. I just mean kissing, not something else. But at the end of that date, Kevin leaned in for a kiss. And at first I backed away. But then, instead, despite my rule, I decided to pull him closer. And it was a perfect kiss. But also, right after the kiss, we were our goofy selves and joked about my rules and how I broke one for him. And then he biked home with that shit-eating Kevin grin on his face. And that was when we both knew we loved each other. The second rule I broke for Kevin was when I met his family. It was like 2 months into us dating, before we were official, and before any sane person agrees to meet the entire Bonilla clan. But it happened because it was his birthday, and it happened because we both knew Kevin was incapable of keeping a secret, or a secret this deep, or more specifically, hiding that fucking beautiful smile that never left his face after our second date. The rule I broke wasn't that I met his family too early. It was that I couldn't be anything less than my messy and most real self around them. And I loved his family from the first time I met them too.
I did wait until Kelly and Lucas's wedding, though, to actually tell Janie, his mom, I loved her. And then I almost made out with her because I thought she was Kevin, and then I got COVID. That's a story you can all ask about her later. The third rule I broke was bringing Kevin home to meet my whole family. This is a hard one to talk about because he was the first person I brought home to my family. But Kevin wouldn't let it not happen. My dad had his 60th birthday, which was an Indian ceremony at a temple in Chicago, and it was in early November. And I joked with Kevin that, sure, you can come if you want, but it was clearly a joke, and I gave him the out that it would also just be easier for me if he didn't come. But Kevin was remarkable in that he knew and taught me that the thing that is easiest in the moment is not usually the best thing. And then Kevin got his sad eyes and looked at me and said, well, obviously I'm coming and you better invite me. So then I had to let him come and meet my family. And also an aside, I need to tell you the Kevin sad eyes story later, that ridiculous grin in his sad eyes. That weekend in Chicago was perfect. He loved my family. They are honestly so much like the Bonilla clan, but an Indian version and a lot shorter and smell a little bit like curry instead of like too much tanning oil. And honestly, I've said this to my mom and dad, and it's hard sharing it, but he actually loved my family deeper and better than I did, and I was learning to love them and understand them better because of him in the last few months. Also, Chicago is when I met Paige and saw Kevin more through meeting her and understood him better. And Paige, you better know this is true and hear this is true, but it was meeting you and after I met you that I knew I was going to marry him. I would get scared a lot in the months after that moment that I would do something wrong and would lose him. And he began his mantra to me. He would say this to me every time I was going through something hard, every time I would do something wrong. He would look me in the eyes and hold my hand and say to me, Shri, you know I'm not going anywhere. And then Thanksgiving, and I broke 10 million rules at Thanksgiving. I told Kevin I loved him. I told him too early. I told him first. And my anxiety in my mind didn't care that I was breaking a rule. And God, that Kevin shit-eating grin then got 10 million times wider than I thought was possible. Kevin's response to me was, I've known and loved you for a while, but he just didn't want to scare me away by saying it too soon. And until he died, he would tell me in so many moments how he would replay, how I said it in his head. And that moment I said it, he would repeat over and over again anytime he needed to bring back a moment of joy. I wish I had the time and space to speak more to the special place his friends had for him, but I know later tonight and this weekend can be more about that. But what I will say is that Kevin and I were very different people, but the thing that was the most similar about us was that we had this huge network of really different, really unique, really special and strong and complicated and ridiculously smart friends. Kevin taught me what I never really realized before, that our friends are our family and our family are friends. There is no distinction. And I love that I can stand in front of all of you and speak to our love, but also that I can know that everyone in this moment is cheering for me and supporting me and loving me, and knowing and know truly that I want to do that for each and every one of you as well. Thank you all for your grace and your strength and the messiness that makes all of us in this room able to be honest with each other. I am lucky. You, each of you, is lucky. We are lucky. The world is luckier because of Kevin's love. Oh, it's so perfect that you're standing next to me. Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay, sorry. Okay. Is that communal water? You can drink it. Sorry. No.
Going to try my best not to pass out or throw up. No promises. I first met Kevin his freshman year at NYU when he joined the cross-country team. From the moment I met him, he was just the brightest light. His smile would light up an entire room. You could feel his energy radiating warmth, and he was just so hilarious to be around. He was instantly everyone's best friend, but he also had a maturity about him. He would go out of his way to talk to the person that no one was talking to, or find conversation to make people feel welcome. We had a great time with all of our friends in New York, gallivanting around to bars like Cheap Shots and The Patriot with our fake IDs, going to NYU basketball games, and shotgunning beers in the bathroom together. Kevin was always out chasing life. He would know a friend of a friend having an open bar somewhere uptown that we would go to, or he would get tickets to some random show. He always had something going on that he wanted to experience. Over the last few days, I've been struggling with how to summarize Kevin as a friend into a few short paragraphs. He was a source of so many good times together, and he was such a powerhouse of a friend. I remember him helping me move into his 6th-floor walk-up apartment in the East Village. I'm grabbing one box at a time, and I'm struggling up the stairs with my noodle arms, and I have to stop between the 3rd and 4th floor to take a breather. Kevin, so fit and always looking for a workout, picks up 3 boxes at a time and just marches them all the way to the 6th floor, no stopping or anything. I think he had me moved in about 20 minutes. I remember the time he came to Chicago for my 25th birthday and spent the night dancing with all of my mom's friends in my parents' living room. He kept doing his famous dance move where he gets on the ground and puts his shirt fully over his head, and he was like running into all the furniture. Or the time we were coming home from a bar, and he was trying to order 2 large pizzas for a late night snack. And I looked at him, I said, "Kevin, 2 large pizzas is too much." He looks at me straight in the eyes and responds, "You don't know me." And then I watched him eat 2 large pizzas. But the best memories I have with Kevin are the most mundane memories. It's the time we spent just sitting together in our apartment, watching 2 full seasons of the OC, or the long early morning drives through the mountain on our way to go skiing. And that's because even though Kevin was always chasing adventure and living his life to the fullest, the best part about him was how he made you feel when you were around him. He was the most kind and genuine person I've ever met. His energy was infectious. No matter the crowd, he could turn any situation into a party with his dance moves. And Kevin would have you laughing so much that usually, after we hung out, my cheeks would hurt. And he loved his family, Rich, Jane, Richie, Katie, and Shri, so deeply. Not only would his family show up and become everyone's family, but he would make an effort to bring his friends into his world and make them feel like family. Kevin, to me, felt indestructible. He was a rock in so many ways. His bright and positive attitude was unwavering. He was a friend you could always count on to show up for you, and his strength was unmatched. He was the kind of friend you only get once in a lifetime, and losing him will forever leave a hole in my heart, in all of our hearts. I don't know how to continue my life without Kevin in it, but I do know that I feel incredibly lucky to have had him as my friend the last 13 years. And I know that if there's anything Kevin would want, it would be for each and every one of us to wake up each day, spread kindness to those around you, and chase after life the same way that he did, and maybe eat 2 large pizzas along the way.
The theme of friendship and support runs strong throughout these stories. And so in that spirit, we offer this musical tribute. Sing along if you know it. When you're down and troubled and you need a helping hand, and nothing, oh, nothing is going right. Close your eyes and think of me, and soon I will be there to brighten up even your darkest night. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, fall, all you've got to do is call, and I'll be there, yeah. You've got a friend. When the skies above you should turn dark and full of clouds, and that old north wind should begin to blow, keep your head together and call my name out loud. Soon I'll be knocking upon your door. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, fall, all you've got to do is call, and I'll be there. Whoa. You've got a friend. You've got a friend.
We've heard a lot of stories. We've heard a lot of really beautiful pieces of stories that we're going to take with us. And I just want to share with you one thing, and then we can, those of you that are with us this evening, we can talk more about this. But when I meet with a family, especially when I didn't know a person who has died, and I ask them to tell me about their loved one, to tell me the story of that life so that I can hold it and help tell the story. I always ask them, I learned this from my senior rabbi here, Rabbi Joe Black, to start with adjectives. You just start with adjectives. Just name the adjectives that describe this person. And so I asked the Bonillas to start with the adjectives. And then we didn't finish the conversation, and I have 2 pages of adjectives. And so when I think about, like, how do you summarize a person like Kevin, I don't know if you can. Because so many of these adjectives actually kind of contradict each other. That he was quiet and calming, and also he talked all the time and was a great conversationalist. And that he was humble and yet super driven to improve, and he was resilient, but he was so compassionate. These are things that people don't always hold at the same time. And so I think it's that complexity, that intensity that makes him and his story and his legacy so special and his loss so hard. So I'm going to give you a second, because we heard a lot of words. I have a lot of words. And I want you to take a moment of silence. Let whatever you need in. Let whatever words haven't been said be spoken in your heart. And we'll come back together in a moment. I'll take just about 15 more seconds.
Adonai roi lo echzar bino deshe yar bitzeini al mei menuchot nafshi yeshoveh yancheni v'maglei tzedek yancheni v'maglei tzedek lemon shemo gom ki elach beged
God is my shepherd, I shall not want. God makes me lie down in green pastures, leads me beside still waters, and restores my soul. God, you lead me in right paths for the sake of your name. And even when I walk in the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You have set a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You have anointed my head with oil, and my cup overflows. Surely, goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of God forever. As we begin to conclude our service today, I can't help but think of that line, the one that you probably recognize from Psalm 23, which we just heard so beautifully chanted, as I walk in the valley of the shadow of death. And the part of that line today that sticks with me is that there is only a shadow when we're used to seeing light. And so I hope for each of you that what you are holding and taking with you in this moment is the enormous, bright, brilliant, and beautiful light that Kevin brought into this world. That light still shines. Right now, it feels like a shadow. But we walk through that valley. We don't live there forever. And the light is going to guide us on our way as we take this moment to say goodbye to Kevin, as we leave this space in just a few moments as the space of our farewell. And so we move into the words of our memorial prayer called El Male Rachamim. It means God who is full of mercy.
We rise as we are able. Male rachamim, shochen v'mromim, hamsei menucha nechona, tachat kanfei hashchina, him kedoshim u'taharim, kezohar harakia mazhirim, het nishmot, het nishmot, Tzemek Shmuli, ben Dor Rachel v'Richard, shehalach le'olamo. Borachamim, Yastireu beseter kanafav, le'olamim. Beitror hachayim, et nishmato. Adonai hu nachalato, ve'anuach b'shalom al mishkavo.
God of secrets, source and shelter, grant a perfect rest under your sanctuary of peace to Kevin Andrew Bonilla, Tzemek Shmuli Ben Tovarach Elva Richard, whose life was cut off without warning. And in this moment of inconceivable pain, we lost him before we were ready. Even in this darkness, even in this grief and void that seem beyond repair, help us to remember his wisdom, his beauty, his talents, his skills, his joy. Remember our times together, our joy and laughter and tears. Let those memories continue to bless us even as we pray for him to find peace in whatever comes next. May his soul be bound up in the bond of life. He is a living blessing in our midst. And we all say together, Amen. And in just a moment, we will recite the words of the Mourner's Kaddish. And these words we say so often in Jewish tradition after we have lost someone. They'll sound weird. They're in Aramaic. They don't talk about death. They only talk about the beauty of life. And so even as we are broken, we hold in our hearts that beauty. And I invite you to say these words with me if you know them. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, ve'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevorach le'olam u'le'omei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shemei dekudesha brichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. May the one who makes peace on high make peace for all of us and to all of eternity. And so we say together, amen.
In the rising of the sun, we remember. In the blowing of the wind, we remember. In the opening of buds, we remember. We remember. When we're weary and need strength, we remember. When we're lost and sick at heart, we remember. When we've joys we wish to share, we remember. We remember. So long as we live, he too shall live. He is now a part of us. He is now a part of us as we remember. We remember.
We say to Kevin, Lech, ki shalachecha Adonai, Go your way, because God has called you. Lech v'Adonai yihye imach. Go your way, and may God be with you. V'halach lefanecha tzidkecha, kevod Adonai ya'asvecha. May your righteousness go before you, and may the glory of God receive you. And to each of you I say, Hamakom yinachem etchem b'toch sha'ar avlei Tzion v'Yerushalayim. It means may God comfort you amongst all of the mourners of Zion and Jerusalem. And it reminds us that we are not the first to lose. We are not the last. And exactly what you are doing right now, holding each other as tight as you can, is what will bring honor to Kevin's legacy and what will get you through.
Ladies and gentlemen, that does conclude our funeral service. If I can ask you to please remain in your places as we escort the family out to their cars, and if you happen to run into them in the foyer, if they use the restroom, please allow them the opportunity to gather themselves, do what they need to do so they can get to their cars. And they'd like to welcome you back to Katie's home. Her address is 2147 King Street. They'll be returning there immediately, so you are welcome to join them immediately for this condolence period. There'll be a Shiva Minyan service at 5 p.m. this evening with the rabbi, and then they'll be there throughout the evening. So it's today only at Katie's home, 2147 King Street.
We're 1,000 miles from comfort. We have traveled land and sea. But as long as you are with me, there's no place I'd rather be. I would wait forever, exalted in the scene. But as long as I am with you, my heart continues to beat. With every step we take, Kyoto to the bay, strolling so casually. We're different and the same, gave you another name, switch up the battery. If you gave me a chance, I would take it. It's a shot in the dark, but I'll make it. No, with all of your heart, you can't shame me. When I am with you, there's no place I'd rather be. No, 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 no place I'd rather be. No, 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 no place I'd rather be. No, 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 no place I'd rather be. When I am with you, there's no place I'd rather be. We set out on a mission to find our inner peace, make it everlasting, so nothing's incomplete. It's easy being with you, sacred simplicity. As long as we're together, there's no place I'd rather be. With every step we take, Kyoto to the bay, strolling so casually. We're different and the same, gave you another name, switch up the batteries. If you gave me a chance, I would take it. It's a shot in the dark, but I'll make it. No, with all of your heart, you can't shame me. When I am with you, there's no place I'd rather be. No, 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 no place I'd rather be. No, 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 no place I'd rather be. No, 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 way.